Welcome back, everyone, to Lore of the Shadow, where I am heading out into the No Man Lands, where I need to defeat some foes in the area and then find the next base of operation. I believe that up ahead there is the base of operations, but I'm sure that we will be given a nice little arrow to go to the right spot as soon as I defeat 6 foes. And apparently they are rather liberal about the definition of a foe. Well, I suppose the cave claws, I mean, any dwarf will call a cave claw a foe, I suppose. So I guess that fits. And the... Oh, hold on, what do we got here? Okay, the orc very definitely is a foe. I'll give you that. And I guess the Kraban, they could be used as spies, so I would presume then that then I guess will qualify as a foe. They're probably part of the eyes and ears that Sauron is using to track us as we head over towards the gate. But the boar? I mean, sounds... I was about to see dinner, but I was wondering... What is the status of the wildlife in this area from the point of view of being able to eat it? Make sure that there isn't anything nasty in it. Now, yeah, this is an extra crow there that I'm killing. It says, okay, find Langlas in the ruin of Harnondir in the No Man Lands. And yes, the arrow is pointing straight towards these ruins. We have arrived. Not exactly what I call a glorious location, Harondir, but it has everything that you need, such as a milestone. A sickly light plays out over the stones of... Okay, sickly light. Oh, it's decided, alright, which one is the best one to use. What do you say? This is Langlas.
This is a dead place. An empty place. I do not like it.
There will be many places such as these as we get nearer to Mordor, Pinelore. How could anyone live here? Well, that's a good question. The answer to that question is simple, I suppose. No one does live here. Well, not truly. Not good folk, at any rate. I have heard tell from the rangers of Ithilien that there are a few sites throughout the ways in which evil folk dwell. These places should be scouted before the host passes near. Find Doom Boha in the No Man Lands, and Do Acharn, and Ondokar's Folly in Dagorlad, and defeat any enemies that may endanger the passage of the host. Once the way is safe, the hosts of the West will assemble outside the Black Gate, and we will see what awaits them there. So, find Doomboha in the No Man Lands, find the road to Doacharn in Dagorlad, find Ondahar's Folly, and defeat 14 foes. Now, I believe that one of them is attached to this up the stairs, I believe. Right? Or is that work? No, we go up the stairs. Yeah, in fact, even my quest arrow is pointing me up the stairs. And I think that there are several enemies here. Obviously not the rangers, but the rangers are keeping an eye on this area because there are enemies in the area. Let's see, is that up this way? I don't know, because last time I've done questing in this area, I took a bit of a different route and came indirectly to that. Now, you see, these are just barring all this. I think I'm going... yeah, I mean, other than the obvious fact that the quest arrow was pointing in a completely different direction. what happens if I go this way? Hey, how far does it claim that I am away from these orcs? I need 273. Yeah, it's a bit away. Maybe I shouldn't have taken this side passage. Okay, rather than falling victim to the lure of the stairs, I will head out this way, which is much closer to the direction that the arrow is pointing. And I think this leads to where the orcs are, or is it Haradrim? Whichever, they're going to be enemies. That's what matters in this. So I noticed there, okay, I was about to say a lack of rangers guarding that gate, but maybe there was someone who's keeping a close enough eye, and you had all those sparring rangers in any case. So let's... Yeah, aha! There we go. There's the enemy camp. Haradrim warriors are encamped in Dumboha as they prepare for combat. Well then... we can do that. Now the question is, do I just go through Dumboha and... You've got to be kidding me! There's a deed for killing foes in this specific area? Oh, and it's not for killing foes at Dagorlad or killing foes near the gates of Mordor or anything like this. No, it is kill foes in Dumboha. Ugh. We got some big ones in here, don't we? Half-troll cleaver. Ugh. Well then, we'll just send some crows against the half-troll and it'll be done, right? Good. Now I just need to make my way down to the... let's see. I need to somehow get down there. Well, I do have a milestone to the campsite if things go horrifically wrong. But let's do some exploration first to see if I can find my way around here. Because I have often done this quest by coming in from the other direction from the plains, which obviously means that I've managed to get up here. Hold on. Hello. Right? Yeah, I think all I need to do is get down here, right? Well, if I do that, I want to do this without... ouch. Well, certainly not going to do it without breaking an ankle in there. Or is this the place that I decided I wasn't going to do it before? It's interesting. Surely there's a shortcut. Isn't that... yeah. Well, good thing I set a milestone. That's all I gotta say. Now, let's see how far I can get before something blocks the way. Or maybe I'll even make it. Oh. Nice. Now, I believe that arrow's now pointing me to Ondahar's Folly. And some will just say that the Folly was jumping down that cliff face. There we go. Well, I suspect that I will have no trouble reaching my quota of foe slain. So just follow the arrow and eventually I will reach my target. Well, looking at this place, I think that the Folly is even trying to go there. But I will presume that's Ordakar's Folly or whatever they call the place. Let's get a little bit closer so that we could get credit for scouting it. Because I suspect that they're not going to say you've explored it if I just stand out here waiting. Actually, we might be getting pretty close now, right? This is Ashtok. Whoa! Alright, this is... Oh! Okay. Looks like now a hill suddenly appeared in front of it. Well, I suppose that maybe I went a little bit downward and now the hill blocks the way for my line of sight. It looks like it's further along. Yeah, there we are. Now I can see it again. The gazebo in the center, whatever that thing is seems to be made of stone. Everything else seems to be made of wood. Now, where did they get all of this wood? Well, probably Athelion? That sounds like a likely place. I mean, what other locations would be wooded? I mean, Mordor, from everything I've heard, is not exactly what you would call a woody location. Well, not anymore. Maybe that's partly because someone built a lot of things made of wood from there. Discovered on the Hare's Folly. Okay. Or the Hare's Folly reeks still of blood and death. Even after all these years. Okay. That's nasty then. Alright, that takes care of 2 of the areas. Actually, let's take care of this orc. There you go. Anyone else around? Well, let's then head over to find Dol Archan in Dagorlad, northeast of Harandir, and I will presume that's where this arrow is pointing. So I, of course, will be 100% sure after I reach my killing quota, but it looks like it's ignoring foes in giving me the arrows, which is nice when they do that when the enemy is ubiquitous, because it's really annoying trying to go to a location using the quest tracker, but only because there's a small pocket of valid enemies at a particular location that, I'm sorry, we won't show you any place you need to scout because of that. But fortunately, this quest is actually sending you only to the places where you need to scout, because you'll find plenty of foes when you go to those locations. Now, I will presume then that those ruins up ahead are Dol Archan? Arkarn? Oh, Akarn. Okay, we will eventually get it right someday. Maybe not in this millennium, but someday. Now, I notice that we have 2 sets of buildings here. These dark buildings way in the distance, and these closer ones that are lower behind. Well, one's on the one hill. They're both on the hills. Well, actually, one in the back might almost be on a mountain. So, and we're pretty close to the "you have found it" I guess we want the road, right? Oh, well, no, because that's saying we want to go this way. Nothing like a green river. I mean, you know, it's definitely not wholesome when a river runs green. You know, unless it's St. Patrick's Day, in which case we know where the green came from in that case. Actually, I've always found this one. Dol Archan once towered above the plain, but now only the base remains. Okay, so all I have to do now is to kill a few foes. and I'll be done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to head south. I'm sure to run to a couple of foes there. Maybe I should have killed a few more enemies along the way. But I'll kill a couple more foes, and then I should get an arrow straight to Aragorn or whoever I'm supposed to speak with after this. Well, this looks like a nasty place. But a nasty place that, well, I've seen places like this full of foes in the past, so why not now? Now entering the Slag Hills. Oh. I'm already at the Slag Hills. Okay. Definitely should have killed a couple more foes before I came here. Maybe I should have gone into Folly, but I just felt like it would be folly to do so. I'll just head towards the gate, and eventually I'll run into a couple of foes and deal with them. Look at this. Oh, welcome to Mordor. Have a good day. Well, I think having a good day would mean going in the opposite direction, though. I'm pretty sure of it. Oh, hold on, what's this? Ah! Hey, does this thing count as a foe? Yes, it does! Yay! Oh, yeah. These evil slugs. Alright, so now, what do we need to go? We see, fight Aragorn, yes, in the northern side of the Slag Hills outside of the Black Gate. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Oh, there's a bridge here! Yeah. And from over this bridge is Aragorn. Okay. Hello.
We have come to it at last.
Climb to the top of the Slag Hill and look to the south. What waits us for us at the Black Gate of Mordor? What waits for there? An army, maybe? I mean, I doubt there's a navy here. If you could bring a navy to this place, well, I'll tip my hat to you, because I'm not too sure how you're going to do that. Unless it's a air navy or something like that. Oh yeah, that wonderful tower. The field before the Black Gate of Mordor is empty and quiet. Should we knock? It appears that they're all for tea at the moment.
Sauron is waiting.
What'd you find? All was quiet and still, I see. And I am not surprised. Sauron is waiting. I do not take the empty calm before the gate as to be fact, but neither should you. The Dark Lord's armies are arrayed before us, though we see them not. In other words, they're on the other side of the gate. He waits to unleash them, for he wants to see what we will do. Well, we're going to politely knock and ask them if they want to buy some cookies from us.
There is no sense in delaying what must come.
There must be a parley. I will go forth with a small group of my most trusted allies and call for Sauron's surrender. I would be honored if you would accompany my friend. Yes. Oh, and bring the cookies. Yes. I do not expect the Dark Lord to give in to our demands, but still, I must offer him the opportunity. Speak to me when your preparations are made, and we can go together. Oh yes, go together to that glorious, glorious, glorious gate that waits on the other side. And what will happen when we present ourselves to Sauron and ask him, hey, will you be so kind as to surrender and recognize the right of Gondor to rule and pull out all your armies from Ithilien and anything on the other side of the river. Well, actually, even on this side of the river, if we're asking them to leave Ithilien. Anyway, to forget about trying to rule Gondor and all that and completely become a nice and good guy. What would happen if we ask him to do that? I guess we'll have to find that out in the next episode of Lore of the Shadow.